Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranamo, glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Neetu from Baltimore.
Hare Krishna, Neetu Mataji, Dandavat Pranams, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Please accept my humble obeisances. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call every day and giving your association to us. Welcome to the call.
Hare Krishna Darshini Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Vinita Gandharvika Devidasi from College Station, Texas. Thank you, Preeti Vilasni Mataji, for the beautiful recitation and very nice to see you, Darshini Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji, Dandavat Pranams, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to your services. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call and giving your association to us. Welcome to the call.
Hare Krishna Darshini Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, Guru and Gauranga and all the assembled devotees on the call. This is Harita from Missouri City, Texas, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Harita Mataji, Dandavat Pranams, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to your services. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call and giving your association to us. Welcome to the call.
Hare Krishna, Harita Mataji, Dandavat Pranam to you and all Vaishnavas. Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev Ki Jai, Vrinda. Thank you, HG Preeti Vilasani Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Vrinda Gopika Mataji, Dandavat Pranams, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to your services. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call every day and giving your association to us. Welcome to the call.
Hare Krishna Mataji, this is all. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Mataji, this is Ritu from Chicago area.
Hare Krishna, Ritu Mataji, Dandavat Pranams, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Please accept my humble obeisances. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call and giving your association to us. Welcome to the call. Okay, there's no one else. I'll go into the session. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, Dandavat Pranams, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Please accept my humble obeisances. I welcome all of you to Bhakti Sangha Japa conference calls mid-morning session once again today on Mahaprakash Lila, and today's class will be given by Her Grace Radhika Kasturi Mataji. Before moving on to the session, I would like to read Srila Prabhupada's quote for today, 18th March. In the material world, we want to minimize our activities and take rest more. But in the spiritual world, there is no rest and there is no limit of activities. Krishna is unlimited, his service is unlimited, and the energy of his servants is unlimited. Although we are in the midst of ignorance, still if we keep ourselves alert, there is no place of ignorance. Letter to His Holiness Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj, March 18th, 1969. Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranams. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Please accept my humble obeisances. We are very grateful and fortunate to have you on the class today, Mataji, to enlighten us on the topic of Mahaprakash Lila of Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu. I now hand over the call to you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you so much. Let's start our prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapatantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Patakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Swajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschaita Deshatarine Sapta Kanjana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Kadadara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Srinuvata Swagata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtanaha Kritayantasto hi abhadrani vidunoti sugritsatam Nashta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Sloke Bhaktir Pavati Naishtiki. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Again, it's one of the beautiful opportunities to glorify Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And we are taking an episode from Chaitanya Charitamrita. And it's definitely my fortune because in the past, if you remember, Bhakti Sangha has held classes on Chaitanya Charitamrita, and many speakers have spoken on this topic. And I still remember, I think, His Grace Adi Gadadhar Prabhu happened to do this part of Mahaprakash lila, and of course, Kritida Sundari Mataji, Her Grace Kritida Sundari Mataji, Her Grace Preeti Vilasni Mataji, all of them have rendered excellent. I'm sorry if I missed someone, but the point is we've heard it in the past in the same Sangha where we have gathered together, and I definitely relished because the speakers used to say the Katha with such enlightenment and such sincerity and with such bhakti bhav that most of the episodes in my heart are really stuck. And I definitely appreciate this opportunity to be able to speak about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his glories. So today I have chosen this topic of Mahaprakash Leela. I know there is so much to talk about, but we have an hour's constraint. So I will try my best to cover his Leela with at least a few devotees, so as to speak. So without any further ado, let's get started, dear devotees. I'm going straight away into the pastime so that we can definitely relish, as I said, the pastime of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with at least few of his devotees. All right. So one day, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told his devotees, what did he tell? He told, we are going to spend the whole day speaking about Krishna, serving Krishna, chanting in the names of Krishna. But what is happening is we are wasting our entire night sleeping and doing such things. So from this day on, for the next 1 year, what we should do? We should continue the kirtan throughout the entire night. This is the instruction. And if you look at it, it is quite an instruction. But the devotees had such faith in the will of the Lord that they cried out, calling out, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. And then Lord Chaitanya, according to Chaitanya Charitamrita, taught them how they could actually accomplish this. Singing all day and all night. What did he give them? He gave this verse, Trinadapi Sunichena Tarorapi Sahishnuna Amanena Manatena Kirtaniya Sada Harihi. Now, this verse can be taken lightly, right? This is the crux. And again, the point is to be humble. But it has to come, of course, through bhakti. If one is humble like a blade of grass, tolerant, forgiving, forbearing like a tree, eager to offer respect to others, without without demanding or expecting himself, he never has any expectation for himself, right? That's the point. And then one could chant the names of the Lord continuously or constantly. Sometimes the Lord would give an analogy. Look at the grass. What are we doing? We are sitting on it. We are walking on it. And the grass keeps coming back up to serve us. Not trying to take a high position, but it is happy at everyone's feet. Right? Now he's giving another example or another analogy so as to speak. Look at the tree. In summer, it stands in the direct sunlight to give us the shade. In the winter, it stands covered with ice to give us wood to keep us warm. In the hot summer season, where there is drought, the tree will have no water. But even then, it is going to give us delicious fruits to quench our thirst. And even if you cut down the tree will give the body of it, right? The trunk, so that we could make house for ourselves. This is the service of trees to others. And through this instruction, the devotees took this verse to heart. Imagine a speaker is not an ordinary person. Here we have Chaitanya Mahaprabhu giving instruction to devotees, right? To the extent the speaker is elevated, to that extent, the katha will be absorbed or relished by the devotees. And depending on that, the faith will increase for the devotees. So again, through this instruction, Mahaprabhu just gave faith to the devotees, and the devotees automatically took it to their heart. And if you look at it, this verse, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, Trinadapi Sunichena, right? He said we should take this verse like a jewel of the verse. We should put it on the strings of the holy names of the Lord and keep it always in our heart. Keep it always. Never forget. Trinadapi Sunichena. Just never forget the meaning of this verse. And always remember the analogy how the tree serves, or how, we can be tolerant as a grass. Now, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because of these kirtans, in Shiva's Pandit's house, they were all, because of this kirtans all night, they were all so intimate and so deep. And because of this, only pure devotees were given entrance into Shiva Sangan. Because if you invite all others, they wouldn't understand. Because there is a level of communication that is happening amongst the pure devotees. Only pure devotees understand that language, isn't it? So communicating with God, this is what is happening. And Lord Chaitanya, he would dance and chant with all of them, with the rest of them, just like he was one amongst the devotees. But everyone knew about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He is the worshipable Lord. And they all, of course, chanted and danced in happiness. It was all earning for love towards him and serving him, because they have a natural eternal relationship with him. And one day, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to the house of Shivas and he manifested what is called Mahaprakash. Outside of Shiva Sangan, there were so many people who wanted to get in. Many were nervous and many were proud. And they were insulted that they could not go in. And because of this, what these people did, can they keep quiet? If their ego is under attack, nobody can keep quiet. That is when their true nature, or at least that nature of them, is revealed, when their ego is attacked. So because these people were not allowed to get in, they started spreading very nasty rumors all over Navadvip. You know what? Why they don't allow us in the house? There are so many great scholars, Bhattacharyas, Mishras, Chakravartis here in Navadvip, giving good reputation. But this Shivas and his associates, who are they? They are all criminals. They are low-class thugs. During the day, what they do? They chant tantric mantras to seduce 5 kinds of young girls. And they get those girls to come to the house at night. They lock the doors and they drink all sorts of wine and liquor together. They decorate themselves with luxurious garments. They sing all sorts of passionate songs together. In this way, what are they doing? They're doing most abominable activities. This is what they do day and night. And that's why they don't get us in. Because they know what we are. We are all moral, we are all ethical, saintly people, enlightened people who will not stand for this in Navadvip. What is this loud chanting? They're all hypocrites. They're saying God is within the heart. See, as Paramatma, as Super Soul, if God is within the heart, why do they have to scream so loud? for him to hear? Like us, we do a silent prayer and Lord hears it. If God, if you scream, right? If you scream at somebody, it annoys them. It doesn't please them. But why are they screaming at Vishnu, screaming at Krishna? This is all an insult. It's an offense. And because of their offense, what is going to happen to them? Because of their offense, there is going to be famine and drought throughout. There will be all sorts of tragedies in Navadvip. We must stop them right now. Now let's go to the king and have them arrested, put them in the shackles and throw them into the prison. Now another person is saying, see, we don't have time for all of that. Right now, tonight, we should pick up Shiva's house, break it into pieces and throw it in the Ganges and shackle him and arrest him and beat him. Because we really don't have time. Every night, they are outside talking like this, right? One person, a pious, nice person said, all the devotees are so fortunate. They are all chanting and dancing with Gauranga. The only reason I am not allowed in is I don't have the pious activities to earn such blessing. When the antagonists heard this comment from this particular pious, nice person, they were all outraged. They screamed, he's one of them, beat him, get him. This person would have to run away. If you didn't get along with their criticisms, with their propaganda of what they are talking, the blasphemy, you will be singled out and you will be prosecuted. Right? This was what was happening. So common people, because these people were men, they were very powerful. They didn't know what to do. The devotees couldn't hear any of this. They were totally absorbed in the chanting of the holy names of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Now, on this particular day, when Lord entered into Sivasangan's courtyard, he sat on the throne of Vishnu. In the past, of course, he would sometimes, in the role of devotee, take a few moments, just timidly sit on it, just to give a little bit of happiness to devotees. But on this day, what did he do? He sat with firm conviction. And how long did he sit for? He sat for 21 continuous hours, revealing his various incarnations according to his devotees' love for him. They began to sing the song for Abhishek. They did Purusha Shukta prayers and thousands of buckets, pots of water from Ganga. They were pouring it over Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Of course, they were all pouring it over Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's head. And he was accepting all the services that the devotees wanted and earned to offer him. There was this earning, right? Everybody knew he was the Lord, but nobody could serve him because he was always in the position of servant of the servant of the servant of the Lord. And now, having gotten these opportunities, they were just showering their love towards him. Nityananda Prabhu, Advaita, Gadadhara, they were all pouring water over the Lord. And others were carrying water to them. And some of Shiva's maid servants, they were actually helping to carry the water all the way from Ganga to his house. Among them was one girl. Her name was what? Anybody remembers?
Dukhi?
Yes, absolutely. Dukhi. Dukhi literally means one who is miserable. In Bengal, at that time, if a mother would lose many children, either at birth or at a young age, they were very unhappy. If they finally got a nice child born, they would name that child Dukhi, which means she's miserable. That is the idea, the sentiment of that was then Yamaraj, the superintendent of death, would fear or would not fear, would feel sorry for her. Her name is Misery. So let her just be, right? Otherwise, how many of them would name the child as a miserable one? This was the reason. It was pretty good, isn't it, in terms of why they named her Dukhi. But that was her name. With such love, she was looking at Gaurav Mahaprabhu, right? And she was way in the background, unseen by anyone. Obviously, nobody is seeing her. She was just taking water from the Ganga and putting it completely in nice straight rows. So the devotees were bringing it to the other devotees, and obviously they were using that Ganga water to bathe the Lord. So it would be easy for them. Such a simple service of carrying some pots of water, putting them in nice rows was a service. But again, the point here, devotees, with everything, there has to be the component of devotion, isn't it? She was doing it with such devotion, such honor, such respect for all the devotees who loved the Lord. And this devotion was what was attractive about her. Nobody noticed her. Everyone, see, Mahaprabhu is getting an Abhishek. Who would they look at? They were all looking at Mahaprabhu getting the Abhishek. How many of them would be looking at Duki when Gauranga Mahaprabhu is having Abhishek, right? That is that alone, leave alone that. This is the first time ever in history this is happening. Gauranga Mahaprabhu is sitting in the throne of Vishnu and everybody is able to serve the Lord. This is the first time it's happening. And now Lord Gauranga Mahaprabhu is looking at Duki. If you look at it, there were Swamijis there were Acharyas, there were Paramahamsas, but he was looking at this little Duki. And he asked Shivas, who's this girl, Shivas? And Shivas said, oh yeah, she's a simple maidservant. Her name is Duki. And she, Gaura Sundara, he said, the name Duki doesn't feel right in my heart. I don't feel it right. On this day, I give her the name Suki, which means she's the happy one. With that name, he gave her unlimited eternal happiness. Suki. He gave her the ultimate perfection of life, Prema Bhakti. Who else can give Prema Bhakti, dear devotees, except Caitanya Mahaprabhu? Who else has taught us this principle of Prema Bhakti? To even understand what Prema Bhakti means is such a difficult concept. I'm not even eligible for that. Leave alone that. But this girl, Duki, she's been given the ultimate perfection of life. And according to the Vedas, we know there is 4 goals of religion that most people follow. Dharma, Artha, Kama and Moksha. Religiosity, economic development, sense gratification and liberation. But Purushartha Siromani, the crest jewel of all the goals, Prema Pumartho Mahan, the awakening of the eternal ecstatic love for Krishna within the heart of every living being, is what given to Suki. He gave that Suki that blessing. Of course, if you look at it, yogis, they spend lifetimes of severe austerities. Okay, they have to perfect their breath control, their meditation, their spirit, the physical posture, how they sit. They have to perfect all of that. Your spine has to be totally erect. To get that breath in a proper control. So there are no thoughts coming. There's so much that they have to do to perfect what the process has to say. What about jnanis? They spend lifetimes to achieve. They have to evaluate all the sutras, analyze the sutras and the slokas of various scriptures and discriminate what is matter, what is spirit. Our Duki Suki, she attained the same goal by her simple, pure-hearted desire to please the Lord by carrying some pots of water. And dear devotees, this is how Mahaprakash lila is beginning. Then, obviously, after this bathing ceremony is over, the devotees wanted to feed the Lord. Their desire was unlimited to feed him. Etamam prapatyante, right? Krishna reciprocates according to our desire. Now, sometimes you get a guest in your house and you want to feed them a lot. But how much can they eat? You see, there is a certain capacity, right? How much can you actually reciprocate? But Lord Chaitanya, uh, he said, yeah, bring me whatever pleases your heart. They would bring him. They would bring dozens of bananas. Within a fraction of a moment, he would eat them. Can you believe it, dear devotees? How did he do it? Was he like that? No, it was not like that. He did it very gracefully. He wasn't like a universal form, just devouring everything. No, it was all done graciously. But he could do it in a moment. That is his inconceivable Shakti, right? They brought him. They were so enthusiastic that they would give more and more and more. And devotees were going out and running into the villages and sending other people, okay, get everything you could find. They were feeding him thousands and thousands and thousands of bundles of bananas and thousands of pots of Ganga water and lots of thousands of pieces of sandesh and buckets of butter, dahi, milk, thousands of coconuts, thousands of betel nuts. And within a moment, he kept saying, bring more, bring more. Right? Now, just because we can't do it, of course, I definitely can't do it. It doesn't mean nobody could do it. If God, if He, absolute truth is compared to us, what's the use of being God, right? He is Sarveshwara. He is the controller of controllers. He is the creator. He is controlling the movements of the sun and various parts of the planets in the universe. And of course, if you look at us, we can control anything. You know, breathing can be controlled, or can we control our bowel movement? When the nature calls, we have to just abide by it. Doesn't matter what race, what color, what sex, what degrees we have in college. If nature calls, we are under the control of it. That is us. But Lord, while he was taking all this, obviously there was no nature calls. And what did he eat? What did he drink? Literally tens and thousands of pots of Ganga water. He was smiling. Did he grow in size? He didn't grow in size. So what was happening? It was not that obviously Lord was hungry for water, sandesh, bananas, coconuts, betel nuts, and everything else. What was he hungry of? He was hungry for something. And what was that? He was hungry for the love of his devotees. He was very hungry for that. And Supreme Lord, he can accept unlimited quantities of love, right? And the Supreme Lord gives unlimited quantities of love. They bathed him, they dressed him nicely, they put beautiful garments on him, and they fed him. And beautiful kirtan was now taking place. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was blessed. Obviously, he blessed each and every devotee who was present by revealing to them the most intimate form that they worshipped of Krishna and offering them any boon that they liked. He turned to Shivas just to charm his heart. He said, Shivas, you know what? You remember? You remember? And she was like, Shivas Pandit was like, huh? Do you remember years and years ago at the school of Devananda Pandit? He was reading Srimad Bhagavatam, and as you were hearing the verses of Srimad Bhagavatam, you were so moved by the love of Krishna, and you started to cry, and uncontrollably you called out his name. And the students considered you as a disturbance to them. Right? Now, actually, most people who do that in the class are a disturbance because they are all not like Shiva's Pandit. They are not really in a spiritual trance or ecstasy of love. So, obviously, when he heard this, so when Shivas happened to call out the name and uncontrollably, he started to cry. He went into trance, right? So the students, what did they do? They just picked him up, took him outside and dropped him on the ground to a distant place. And then they went back. When Shivas came out of trance, he found himself laying there and he felt very sad. Don't you remember this, Shivas? And then because you felt so sad, you went home and you started to read Srimad Bhagavatam to somehow or the other transcend that sadness. And as you were reading Srimad Bhagavatam, love awakened in your heart. It was it was uncontrollable. And since that day and time you picked up Bhagavatam to read it, tears will flow from your eyes in trance because of ecstasy of love for Krishna, because of your total absorption for Krishna. You know what? Who gave you that feeling? Who gave you that feeling, my dear Shivas? Who did? I am the one who gave you that feeling, Shivas. I could not tolerate to see you being in sorrow. Obviously, when Shiva's Pandit heard this, he was overwhelmed in ecstasy. He was overwhelmed in ecstasy. See how Mahaprabhu happened to get 2 years back and narrated Shiva's Pandit's story. He was taken aback and overwhelmed with ecstasy of love for Krishna. Now he pointed out to Gangadas and he said, Gangadas, do you remember many years ago the king was sending dacoits, murderous people to persecute the people of Navadvip. They were chasing after you and your family and you ran away. You ran. And ultimately, where did you go? You came to the bank of Ganga. By the time you got to Ganga, it was middle of the night. And what was there? There were rapists, there were murderers who were fast approaching. There was no boat, and the Ganga was very wide and it was flowing very strong. You were crying. You decided that rather than allow these people to touch your wife, your daughter, your family, the way would that you would drown. The way that's good for me is to drown in Ganga. At that moment, somebody came. A boatman out of nowhere came in the darkness and said, and you said to the boatman, save me, save my family. I'll give you anything you want. And the boatman then brought you to the other side. Gangadas, you never told anyone the story. I know. Why? Because I was the one who descended from the spiritual world to become a boatman to save you. Of course, our Gangadas was very thrilled and he was overflowing with gratitude listening to Mahaprabhu. So, in this way, there was so much that was happening in Shiva Sangan during that time where Lord was doing his Mahaprakash lila. Now, we are going to go to the episode of a special devotee. I know we've talked about him over and over in many classes, but I don't think, I would think we would still want to hear about him over and over because of his humble humility, humble nature of him. That is what, that is what is making us to listen to him over and over again. It is none other than Kolavecha Sridhar. Lord said, bring Sridhar, bring Sridhar. The devotee said, who's Sridhar? Gaurasundara replied, he is my loving devotee. Nobody even knows who he is. He is a banana leaf seller. And he was so insignificant, so poor from a social perspective. Whoever saw him, they would call him Kolavech. Kolavecha means banana seller. They didn't even care to know his name. He said, but this Kolavecha Sridhar is such a dear devotee that for 12 hours continuously, every night, he is crying out the names of Krishna. You go towards, Lord is saying, if you go towards Shimanta Dweep, towards the edge of Navadweep town, you will hear his voice. Just follow that sound and you will find him. The devotees were running, and sure enough, they heard that from the faint distance, this very humble devotee was crying the names of the Lord. They went to Sridhar and they told Sridhar, Gauranga Mahaprabhu is calling you. Now, by this time, Sridhar knew Lord Gauranga was his beloved Lord. He fell to the ground. He was like, why is he calling me? They just said, come, Sridhar, come. They had to actually lift him up and practically carry him back. That was the state. Why is he calling me? Like that he felt. And he felt so unqualified. And he was standing right before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Lord Chaitanya said, Kolavechi Sridhar, you have given me so many bananas for many years. I wouldn't eat a single meal if it was not of a brand new banana leaf plate that you would give me. Now I want to reveal myself to you. And Sridhar looked up. Right? Sridhar is looking up. He saw Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's form became that of Krishna. He was standing with the complexion of Tamal tree, the same Shyamasundar that was the eternal object of Sridhar's love and compassion. He had this beautiful, charming lotus eyes, curling black hair around his loving face. His lips were as red as banduli fruit. He had kaustubani on his chest. That gaze of love stared at Sridhar. On his side was Lord Balaram with the complexion of spring cloud. He saw the forests of Vrindavan, the Tamal trees, the Kadamba trees, the banyan trees. He saw Brahma, Shiva, Lakshmi, Narada, Sukadev, the four Kumaras, all with their hands folded and offering beautiful prayers to Krishna and Balaram. He saw there was unlimited Surabhi cows filling the entire background. Kulavecha Sridhar, upon seeing this beautiful darshan, the ultimate object of his meditation, he fainted in divine ecstasy. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was like, get up, Sridhar. Behold my beautiful form. And Lord Chaitanya, he began to recount all the wonderful pastimes he had with Sridhar when he was a young boy for everyone to hear. So before he went to Gaya, when Nimai was performing his pastimes of a restless student and a very restless teacher, nobody knew he was Krishna himself, right? They all loved him. Sridhar, he would sit on the side of the road selling whatever little he had. He grew some bananas. If he could, he would get bananas or banana roots or banana bark. Whatever part of banana tree, he would try to make it into something to sell. Sridhar was a very honest person. He was compared to that of Maharaj Yudhishthir. He would never hurt anyone. This is the kind of businessman he is, right? He wanted to survive in a lifestyle in such a way that he could charge the least possible of whatever he sold. Of course, it's a very hard to be a businessman like him. Anybody who came to him, he was so honest, so fair, and he would give a rock bottom price. Nobody would even argue or bargain with him. What he said, they would just do because he's already quoting a rock bottom price. And who would want to argue with him on price? Can you believe it? I mean, no businessman would be like him, but for Kolavecha Sridhar. Except for Nimai. What would Nimai do? Nimai would carry, Sridhar, how much are these bananas? Give me a very fair price. And now Nimai will tell Kolovich Sridhar, why are you cheating me? I'll give you only half of what you say. How will I survive if you give me only half of what I would say? And another thing about Sridhar is whatever money he would get, what he would do, the first half of it, he would use it to Mother Ganga. Because he understood Mother Ganga is ultimately a person. She's the devotee of the Lord. She is the energy of the Lord that is descending, purify us through her blessings, through her grace. So he would give half of what he earned to Mother Ganga. On a physical level, Mother Ganga is sustaining the whole civilization on the banks by providing water, by filling the wells. Beyond that, she's not an ordinary river, right? The breeze that touches Ganga, the water on the Ganga, for which one who bathes it or touches it or tastes it or sees it, we all get purified. And if we are truly receptive, Ganga Mai awakens the love of Krishna in our heart. This was the love for Krishna. And Nimai is saying, I'll give you only half. They would argue about the price. And in the end, I will just take it for nothing. That's what Nimai will say. And Sridhar would be charmed by this young boy. Whatever you do, whatever makes you happy, do it. That was the relationship that they had. They had such loving relationship that Nimai would come and minimum 2 hours, they would argue about the price of banana. Not because of the banana, because obviously why they want to argue, why they want to sit and do it for 2 hours. That's because they wouldn't want to give up the company of each other's association. This was the medium, right? With the material world, it's of course different. Material things are different. But this is not apparently material thing. This was the communication that was happening between devotee and the Lord, and they were not able to give up each other's association. And in this case, Sridhar didn't even know Krishna was in the center, but he felt the presence of Krishna in the center. One day Nimai said, Sridhar, you're so poor. You worship Krishna. You chant his name all day, all night. I've heard. He would chant Hari Hari all night, the Maha Mantra. The materialistic people living around him could not tolerate him. They hated him. They would just make again nasty propagandas about Sridhar. He's just a useless failure. Look at the type of clothes he wears. Look at the type of house he lives in. He's trying to make himself out to a big saint chanting all night. He's not even a devotee. This chanting that he's doing, right? He's not out of love. He's tortured by hunger and because he can make a living. And that's why he's crying out in hunger pains. This was how people used to blaspheme him. And sometimes they would just pick a vegetable and throw at him. Sridhar, eat and shut up. Sridhar, what would he do? He would just smile and chant Krishna's name. For them, the world is Krishna. Whatever people have to say, that's on the side. Okay, tell anything about me. I really don't care. All I care is my love for Krishna. I just have to keep doing it all day, all night. This way, there is that unflinching love for Krishna. Doesn't matter what society have to talk, or doesn't matter what they propagate. That nothing. Just on the thoughts of Krishna all the time. Right? Nimai would tell him what Krishna is doing to you. Look at your clothes. There are so many holes in your coats. You can't even afford a needle and a thread. You take two different sides of the holes, tie the knot to close them. I see 24 knots in your clothing. Look at your house. It's just a straw thatched hut. And I'm sure the roof leaks during monsoon season. I don't see a single piece of furniture in your house. All you have is one beaten up iron pot that you use for all purposes. All your purposes. Look at your body. It's practically emaciated, thin. You hardly eat anything. Around you, there are people, they are not devotees of Krishna. Look at them. They are having very nice clothes. They are nice and strong. They are having good clothes. And what is Krishna doing for you, Kolavicha? Sridhar smiled. He said, Nimai, in this world, I have come to learn through my observation that there is king. The king has fine clothes. He has beautiful place. He eats most of the royal foods. And then there is a bird. You know, this bird wears the same old feathers every day. He lives in the little nest of straw and he eats whatever little berries that he finds in the trees. I don't see any difference between the two. Time is passing the same way for the bird and the king. They both are struggling. They both are enjoying. Time is passing in the same way. But I may not have much. But I am happy with what I have because I have Krishna. Nimai was like, you're such a cheater. You're a hypocrite. That's what I can say. He said, you have great wealth, but you're hiding it. And Sridhar was like, no, whatever you see is what I have. Seeing is believing. I don't have anything, Nimai. He said, no, you're hiding a great treasure. In this way, you're cheating people. But someday, you know what? I'm going to expose your fortune. Great fortune. Sridhar didn't know what to say. And Lord Chaitanya said, so many bananas will you give me for how much? He gave a fair price. He said, don't you know? You worship Mother Ganga? Yes. You offer so many offerings to her? Yes. I am the father of Mother Ganga. She is holy and she was sacred because she washed my holy feet. And Sridhar would block his ears and said, you're so restless. You're so restless. I'm the father of Ganga, right? I'm hearing this. Sridhar would say, you're a very, very restless boy. I'm afraid of even saying like this for Ganga. So anyways, he would then say, you're not even, he'd say, oh, you're not even afraid to say about this, about Ganga. What is this? You take bananas, you take the bananas. He would say, yeah, you take it and yeah, it's fine. The conversation is done for the day. When he started commenting about Ganga, he was like closing his ears and couldn't hear it because obviously he knew he was a very little boy. And he was afraid to hear of such words of Ganga. And Sridhar, every day, his heart was obviously beating in ecstasy in anticipation of Nimai. Oh, yeah, when would Nimai come and steal my bananas? He waited and he looked down on a dusty pathway, just waiting for the beautiful golden form of Gauranga to come. And if Gauranga was late, Nimai, he would feel such separation from Nimai. He didn't know he was Krishna, but he loved him. He just loved Krishna. But he loved him just like he loved Krishna. This was why he was always waiting in anxiously anticipating him, when he would come, when he would talk, have conversations with me, when he would steal the bananas, when he would bargain about the price of bananas with me. And every day Kolavecha Sridhar would give a supply of supply of banana leaf to Gaurang Mahaprabhu. And it was a tradition in Sachimata's house, Nimai's mother. She wouldn't eat a meal unless it was on a banana leaf provided by Kolavecha Sridhar. And every now and then on the straw roof of Sridhar's hut, a squash would grow, a wild squash. And Kolavecha Sridhar always offered that to Nimai. That was their relationship. And on this day, Nimai never did anything but take from Sridhar. And all Sridhar did was give, 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 give. On this day of Mahaprakash, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was revealing his form of Krishna Balaram, and he told Sridhar, "What, Sridhar, come on, offer prayers unto me." And Sridhar said, "My Lord, you're the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and how could I offer prayers to you? I'm not even educated. I'm such an ignorant person, and I don't know how to even chant prayers to you." Nimai said, "Any words that come out of your mouth, Sridhar, is going to be a prayer, will be a prayer. Just say something." And the Lord commanded Goddess Saraswati to come onto the tongue of Sridhar. So whatever feelings was in his heart, he could eloquently express that through his words. Right? And he did. All glories unto you, all glories unto you, the son of Jagannath Mishra, the son of Sachi Devi. Oh Lord Vishwambar, you have descended from Goloka Vrindavan, which is the highest planet, simply to shower the whole Navadvip with your mercy. The whole world you want to shower with bhakti. And not only you give bhakti, but you're conquered by that bhakti. After you're conquered by that bhakti, you take the bhakti within the core of your own heart and give it to others. This is what you do. This is the highest truth, O Lord. How are you the controller of all controllers, but yet you agree to be controlled by the love of your devotee? How is that possible? And then he brings up the story, right, of battle in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. He said, Bhishma promised Duryodhan that I will make Krishna break his promise today. And what was Krishna's promise? Before the battle began, he told Arjuna and Duryodhana, "See, on one side I'll give my army, and on the other side I will be there. But I'm not going to fight, nor am I going to lift a weapon. This is my promise." So Duryodhan was thinking, if you're not going to fight, if you're not going to lift the weapon, then I'll take the army. And Arjuna was happy. "My lord, I only want you." That was the difference in their faith. And he then told Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, during the battle, Bhishma told Duryodhan that he was going to defeat the Pandavas. And he was going to fight with Arjuna. And in the fight with Arjuna, Bhishma defeated him. Arjuna was helpless. And Bhishma was about to totally defeat him. At that moment, what did Krishna do? Krishna, he picked up the wheel of the chariot and charged at Bhishma. And Bhishma, in great happiness, offered his, obviously, that was the purpose of what Bhima is waiting for, right? He did not want to defeat Arjuna. That was not his goal. He wanted Krishna to break his promise. He knew Krishna would do it 100%. Krishna told Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita, "Declare it boldly, Arjuna. My devotees will not perish." Krishna would rather break his own promise than have a devotee break his promise. And Bhishma, when he was laying on the bed of arrows, he was remembering with such ecstasy, right? Krishna was willing to be defeated by Bhishma. Why? Because of his pure devotion. And we all know Yashodamai in the month of Kartik, she tied Krishna with a rope and bound him. And therefore, his name is forever glorified as Damodar. So like this, he started talking about Satyabhama, he started talking about Gopas, right? You carry the Gopas on your shoulders after they defeated you in wrestling. How is it possible? There's this little Gopa called Sridama. He's not even a wrestler. He doesn't even have such big muscles. He's just a teeny tiny little cowherd boy. And Krishna, what did he do? He defeated Mushtika. He already defeated Putana. He defeated Trinavarta, Agasur, Bagasur, everybody, Kalia. He defeated all of them. And these people are all not teeny tiny people. They were all monsters, Rakshasas. They were all mystics. And here is Sridama. Krishna, you know what? I want to wrestle with you. Let's wrestle. And they are like, this is, and if you're going to lose, Shidama says, you have to ride me on your shoulders and let everyone in Vrajabhumi know that I defeated you. And Krishna was like, oh, I will give up. You are such a good wrestler. I'll give up fighting with you. And obviously, Krishna, he would gladly put them on the shoulders and dance. All the Gopas will be throwing flowers at Sridama because he won. But they were also throwing flowers on somebody else. Who? That is Krishna, because he ultimately won. It's the love of devotees. That is winning for Krishna. To be defeated by the love of devotee is considered to be Krishna's greatest victory, dear devotees. What a logic, isn't it? Material logics has to all stop now. This logic is completely incomprehensible. He likes to be defeated by devotees' love. He will surrender. That's imagine who he is and who we are. But he will surrender to your love. That is Krishna. So, what is the reason that is preventing us from not to love Krishna? We have so many relationships in this material world, and we are ready to do anything, any sacrifice to get things accomplished. To get love, to get a gift, to get this, to get that, anything. We do just put so much effort to get that accomplished. Again, if we turn back and look ourselves and understand what pure love is, what a feeling, isn't it? What a feeling we can all get. And Krishna, he is conquered by the love of his devotees. Kolavecha Sridhar said to the devotees, they beg for that bhakti. And anyone who sincerely begs for that bhakti, that person will defeat you, because you will become subordinate to the love of your devotee. And you have descended into this Navadvip to give that bhakti to everyone, to anyone who's willing to receive it. And you've come to this world to flood people's heart with this bhakti. Lord Caitanya, he asked Sridhar to ask for any boon. Come on, I'll give you anything. And Sridhar said, I don't want anything, my lord. He said, Sridhar, you're so poor. I'll give you the riches as a king. I can give you some kingdoms. I can give you planets. I'll give you anything you ask for. And Sridhar said, what am I going to do with those things? I have no desire. And Lord is telling, I'll give you 8 mystic perfections. How about this Anima, Lagima, Prapti, Lagima, Umagima? What? You don't want these? All these could give you supernatural miracles. You can sustain through this mystic powers where you could live for millions of years. And Sridhar said, these mystic powers will be a disturbance to me. I don't want it. Well, Sridhar, come on, ask for something. Please ask for something. Sridhar said, I'm very happy. I don't want anything. Lord said, I'm peaceful, but I want to give you something, Sridhar. Ask. And Sridhar was like, no, I don't want anything. And Lord is like, I'll give you liberation, moksha, mukti, whatever everybody is looking for, so that you will have no more suffering, no more birth and death. He said, my Lord, I have no interest in moksha. Ask something, Baba. Ask something. Lord Chaitanya said, just to make me happy, ask for something. He said, if it pleases you, my lord, I will ask for one benediction. Let me forever be the servant of the servant of the servant of your servants. And let in every birth I have, whatever I may be in my heart, let me forever see this beautiful boy Nimai coming to steal my bananas. This is the only blessing, my lord. Just come to steal my bananas. And let me never forget you. And Lord Chaitanya, he became so overwhelmed with his love and his devotion. The Lord was crying, and the devotees were falling on the ground in tears. And the Lord said, yes, benediction of pure, unalloyed, ecstatic love for Krishna the rest of your eternity. And when the devotees heard this, they loudly celebrated the good fortune of Sridhar by chanting the holy names of Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Vrindavan Das Thakur tells anyone who with a sincere and faithful heart hears this narration of Kolavecha Sridhar, they will be given the supreme treasure of love of Krishna. What was Sridhar's qualification? He wasn't from a high caste. He wasn't a learned man. He wasn't rich by material standards. He was quite a failure. He was totally unknown. Why did Lord give such prominence to Kolavecha, this banana leaf seller? There were obviously that's the point. Here in this Mahaprakash lila, if you look at Mahaprabhu, the understanding is very simple. Sridhar was such a simple-hearted devotee, innocent devotee. Lord doesn't care whether we are rich or poor or brahmachari or grihastha or what status we are in. He doesn't understand all those. What pleases him is love for Krishna. Sridhar wanted nothing for himself. Right? He found unlimited more pleasure in pleasing Gaurang Mahaprabhu. When you water the root of the tree, every part of the tree is satisfied. Krishna is the root, right? And Sridhar, he didn't do eloquent pujas. All he did was, he didn't do mantra, tantra, yantra, or puja. All he did was he showered his love. And because of the simplicity and purity of devotion, he got what he got. The pure love for Krishna. This is very rare, unless we come to that platform hankering for it and being under the association of such pure devotees. It is not going to happen, right? And we pray and obviously have a desire in our hearts to even understand what this pure devotion means, right? To understand this pure devotion, also you have to be fortunate. I think there has been several classes by several devotees, and a lot of classes have been very inspiring to me to even understand this principle of pure devotion. So whenever we hear this topic on pure devotion, let's all hear with our uh, full concentration, full mind, without any deviation, dear devotees. And that will at least help us understand what pure devotion is. And after that, we can take steps to get into the platform of pure devotional service. Like right now, it's just, I'm in a trying mode, but we have some more years, at least, to serve the lordships and his devotees. Now, coming to the next one, it's a short one. I will talk about Murari Gupta. Lord then called for Murari Gupta. He said, Murari, come. I'm looking forward. Murari looked up. He was sitting on the Singhasan, and where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was sitting, he saw his beloved Lord Ram with a beautiful complexion of Dhruva grass. Lord Ramachandra was with his beautiful golden bow and quivers. And when Murari Gupta saw his beloved Lord Ram, he fell unconscious. And the Lord touched him and said, Murari, stand up. He said, Don't you remember that demon Ravana, who maliciously stole the worshipable Sita and brought her to Sri Lanka? You jumped across the ocean just to give her this message. And then Ravana, what did he do to you? He bound you with the ropes and he lit the tail on your fire. And with that fire on the tail, you burned the entire city. Do you remember this? He said, look on my one side, it is Lakshman. He lifted what did you do to Lakshman? You lifted the Gandhamadana mountain to save his life. And that was out of love for him. Look at my other side, Sita is sitting. Your beloved worshipable goddess. Seeing the torment she was enduring in the Ashokavan of Ravan, you shed shoreless ocean of tears. Don't you see now? Don't you remember? I'm reminding you, I am Ram and you're my eternal servant, Hanuman. Murari Gupta, there he saw before him his beloved Lord Ram, Lakshman and Sita. And he saw thousands of monkey soldiers who were offering prayers to Ram and Sita and Lakshman. And then he looked down and noticed that he had a tail. He looked at his body. He was a monkey. He was Hanuman. The Lord said, Murari Gupta, you know what? You're my beloved devotee. Ask me for a boon, Murari Gupta. Murari, in the mood of Hanuman, the eternal servant of the Lord, he said, I don't want to ask anything from you. But if you want to give me something for the rest of eternity, give me this blessing that I will always chant and sing your names and glories. That in any situation ever come, my Lord, I never forget you. See the pattern, dear devotees, what everybody is requesting as a boon from the Lord. They never want to forget the Lord. They always want to sing the glories of the Lord. And birth after birth, give me that blessing that I am in the company of great devotees of the Lord. See, this Bhakti Sangha is such a strong pillar of support for us. Every day, every lecture, if we listen, our day is spent in a useful way, isn't it? That is what Bhakti Sangha is doing for us. Everybody, the pure devotees of the Lord, hanker for the company of devotees. They want to be living in the company of your devotees. That's my boon. That's what I want. Those devotees who consider you their master and themselves your humble, loving servant, I want to be around those devotees. This is what I want. That's what Murari Gupta is asking. My only aspiration, Lord, is to be the servant of the servant of the servant, to chant your holy names. Anyone who hears, again, the message here is anyone who hears this devotion with a sincere and faithful heart, they will be given pure love to Krishna. This is the boon that devotees will be blessed with. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, like as if he had many mouths, he glorified Murari Gupta. Murari is the name of Krishna or Ram. He said to Murari and to the devotees of Ram, you appear to be a simple family man, Murari. Murari, you have a wife, you had a house, you are a doctor, you have a profession. And unfortunately, people, just because devotees, obviously they never want attention. They never want glorification. Sometimes it may come, sometimes it may not come. It really doesn't matter for them. All that matters to devotees is, are we trying to please Krishna and Guru? Now, you seem to be in this world living like an ordinary man, Murari, but Murari is hiding in your heart. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling Murari, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Lord Ram's form, he's telling Murari, Murari is hiding in your heart. And Gupta means secret hiding place. Therefore, Murari is always hiding in your heart and your name is Murari Gupta. Like that. So this is what Lord did to Murari Gupta. And then now he's looking at Haridas. Haridas, come. This is what is our next lila. Dear devotees, I know it's 9 o'clock and it's a working day. I'm sure all of you all have some work to do also. I mean, usually I try to go beyond time, but I don't think it's fair. But to kind of recap, we'll just do a quick recap and then complete this section of Mahaprakash Lila. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is Krishna who comes in the heart, comes with the heart of love and complexion of Radha, right? To share her love with the whole world. He's the sum total of all avatars. He's the essence of all avatars. The unique feature of Chaitanya is he invited his devotees so he could show his so many avatars. And he revealed different times or different pastimes to different devotees, in the form that they would love. Here in Navadvip, when he preached to his mother at one time, he revealed his incarnation of Kapil Dev. When he was on a pile of pots that were all dirty, he manifested his incarnation of Dattatreya. To Kolavichi Sridhar in Sakiras, he revealed himself as Krishna and Balram. To Ramanandarai, he revealed himself as Sri Radha. To Murari Gupta, who was incarnation of Hanuman, he revealed his supreme form of Sri Ramchandra, along with Lakshman and Sita. Now, as you can understand, during this Mahaprakash Lila of 21 hours of transcendental ecstasy in the house of Shivas, the Lord manifested himself to reciprocate with his intimate devotees his most intimate love or most intimate moods. He filled in the desires of all of them. Gangadas Pandit, Shivas Thakur, Kolavecha Sridhar, Murari Gupta. Then now, at this point in time, he wants to call Haridas. Haridas looked and he saw the supreme opulence of Krishna standing before him. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu spoke to Haridas. Your body is better than mine. I come near you, I touch you to purify myself. And the family of your birth is not the family of my birth. It is better than my family of birth. So Lord Chaitanya, obviously we have some history going back into this. But again, the point here is Haridas Thakur is the same loving devotee in all circumstances. That's why he is Namacharya. By his example, he teaches us what true devotee means. He took shelter of the holy names of the Lord in every situation. No matter what anyone said to him, no matter whoever could provoke him or even dislike him in return, he would do nothing but chant the names of the Lord. Your birth is better than mine. That is why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu made this powerful statement. Your body is worshipable and I want to be purified by the touch of it. Then Lord Chaitanya reminded Haridas of many incidents. So he will talk about incidents, he will talk about, like how we had this conversation, right? About other devotees, how he recalled the pastimes of that devotee with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He would also recount the instances or pastimes with Haridas Thakur. And finally, he would also ask him for a boon. So this is what was going on in Mahaprakash Lila. And if time permits, some other day, we can definitely go over this pastime or Mahaprakash Lila with our dear devotee Haridas Thakur. I think without any further ado, I will complete this. I'll complete this lecture. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa santubhye evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Ananta koti Vaishnav Vrind ki jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaura Bhakta Vrind ki jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to all devotees and all glories to Srila Prabhupada and our Acharyas and Guru Maharaj. Hare Krishna. Thank you, dear devotees.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you so much for the very wonderful and enlightening class, Mataji. Thank you so much for letting us meditate on all the pastimes of Mahaprakash Leela. Yes, Preeti Vilasni Mataji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Radhika Mataji, thank you so much for such a beautiful class on Mahaprakash Leela with so many interesting details that you covered and connecting back to basically the history of each of these characters. So nicely presented, Mataji. I was just thinking about this Dukhi. Actually, the first some sentences I missed because I was on another call. So my question was, so why was she named Dukhi? Generally in Bengal, you were mentioning that if they have lost a lot of children in the gang. I didn't understand.
Correct. They have lost a lot of children, and just because if she's named miserable, then Yamraj would just let her go, right? She's miserable, and
Nice.
that was the mindset. Yeah. Otherwise, why would somebody name her Tuki?
Wow, nice, very nice. And I also like the fact that at the end, Hanuman, when his identity was getting revealed, he also developed a tail. That was very
Yeah.
sweet. That was
So
very
true, Mataji.
Yeah, very nice, Mataji. Very, very beautiful section of the entire Gaura Leela, Mahaprakash Leela is very beautiful. And thanks for choosing this topic and presenting it so nicely, Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you, Mataji.
I was reminded so much of Guru Maharaj's lecture as you were talking.
Yes,
So,
yes, I took many points from him, Mataji. Whenever it comes to Chaitanya Charitamrit, Maharaj, I was told that Maharaj, before even the copy of Chaitanya Charitamrita released, Maharaj would just, out of whatever references he has, he would just go anxiously to seek out for that knowledge. And that's why I relish his lectures so much. I sincerely thank him, and because I've taken so many points from his class. In many yatras, you've spoken about this, and many classes too. So I always make notes and repeat it just to purify myself. Thank you,
we could
Mataji.
sense that flavor coming through. So that's
Every
nice.
Chaitanya Charitamrita class, I really love Maharaj's lecture. So I'm very indebted. It's one of my favorites, Mataji. Not only Chaitanya Charitamrita, but everything else. But especially the way with which he would bring the message across to the board is unbelievable.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mataji.
Very grateful. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Preeti Vilasini Mataji. Kripamai Sita Mataji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna. Am I audible, Mataji? Thank you. Thank you for the wonderful session. Thank you for the wonderful session and the past tense, Mataji. And Mataji, that Soleveshi tree that you told, no, Mataji, one person, that banana seller, that Mataji, and then what did he, Mahaprabhu was asking, what you want this, you want that, you told, no, that all the benedictions and all he was giving, but he thought, I don't want anything. Last, what did he?
He just wanted to see the form of Nimai all the time. So he was granted this eternal love for Godhead. That's exactly what he wanted. He never wanted to forget that form of Nimai coming to him for bananas. So that was because Nimai is none other than Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, none other than Lord Krishna. He gave him that eternal prema for him. So he's never able to forget him. Yes, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you.
Dandavat pranams.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Anyone else would like to share your reflections or comments in the class?
We have Harita Mataji and Neeta Mataji and Sanjeev Prabhu thanking you in chat for the very wonderful class. And I also wanted to, I was told that we have a new devotee in Bhakti Sangha who has joined, Supriya Mataji. So requesting all the devotees to welcome her by chanting Hare Krishna to the call. And we're looking forward to your association, Supriya Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. Just a beginner and trying to, learn ABCs. Thank you so much. I really like the class very much. Yeah, as you told, it's really very difficult to even understand that deeper love and devotion for the God. Thank you so much.
Thank you, dear.
So if there are no more comments, I will end the class here today, Mataji, with your permission. I pay my obeisances to all the Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis on the call. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindubhyevacha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo namo namaha. Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Mahaprakash Leela ki jai. Her Grace Radhika Kasturi Mataji ki jai.
All glories.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Thank you, dear devotees, for joining us on the call today.
Very well ending the call.